compressor problems. So both the I don't know where I set them, but both the cylinders were pretty worn out. Piston rings were gone on it, so I replaced all that, cleaned out the inside of the cylinder heads and the valves, put it all back together. Ran great for a day. Not exactly sure what happened, but I was yesterday came in, worked with it for like an hour, and then or it tried to kick on, and then it quit. But I heard just air escaping, and it was escaping out like there's a like an overflow exhaust for. I mean, if you've got a compressor, you normally would hear it, like the air escape once it kicks off, like it's supposed to vent whatever air is still up in the heads. I'm not sure if it's the check valve, which is that little piece there, or if it's the pressure switch. I have to order both of them, so, well, either one. Check valve was like $15, so I just went ahead and got that. Then Craftsman wanted like $90 for pressure switch. I found them online through Amazon, a pair of them for about the same price. Instead of, I mean, I could get one for $55. Porter cable is almost the same thing, and a lot of the parts are identical. I'm not sure which one I actually ordered. I got a Craftsman head on this side, and then the high pressure side, Craftsman cylinder kit for this side, and then I got a Porter cable kit for this side, and it was the exact same thing. So I've got 2 pressure switches coming, but who knows how long it'll take to ship. So unfortunately, could be 2 weeks before I get this thing back up and running. What I did do is, like, when the pressure switch was leaking, I tried to flip it on, and I took the cover off, but it was sparking, so I was kind of worried that the motor was burnt out or something like that, like it was grounding out or something. So you can see my little hack job here, but what I did is I just hot wired my motor directly just to make sure it would run just fine. So the motor's fine, that worked. I mean, it's not plugged in right now. I got the welder plugged in, but I wanted to rule out the motor. That's probably the most expensive part. I mean, it's been a kind of a pain to get this rebuilt. I knew the cylinders need to be redone, and it worked for a day. I don't know if it's, I mean, the thing's 13, 14 years old. The junk that was in the cylinders could have gotten the line, could have plugged up the check valve. It could have done something with pressure switch, I guess, or I think there's a diaphragm in pressure switch. It could have ruptured from, I don't know, just use. And now that, like, this is actually putting out actual compression because the cylinders are shot, but now that it's up to par again, maybe that extra compression or real compression blew it out. So anyway, so I ordered parts for that, and like I said, it could be 2 weeks or so before I can finally get this thing running again. But I knew it was going to be such a pain in the butt. I probably would have opted for finding a single phase motor for that instead of the 3-phase motor that's on it. It's probably got, I don't know, that may be 100 gallon or so. I mean, mine's a 60 gallon, but that looks, I mean, it's a little bit It's about the same diameter, I suppose, maybe a little bit narrower, but it's quite a bit longer. So it's maybe 100 gallon. That should have been what I had actually done, is just find another motor for that. So anyway, that's my compressor woes. So after a day of nice quick cutting with my cutoff tool and grinding and stuff like that, because this was actually pretty much able to keep up with everything I was doing, I'm back to that thing over there, unfortunately, which is a lot of downtime waiting for air to come back. Thankfully, I've got most of the stuff I was doing over here done. I just got some more sandblasting to do on the cab, and that thing just doesn't keep up at all with it. I mean, you got a minute, and then you have to quit and wait for it to fill back up, and you still have to, I mean, you quit, but you have to quit after like 5 minutes, so you get like 5 times more use out of the sandblaster with this guy than you do with that. That would probably, I don't know, I'm playing around with a lot of ideas. I mean, obviously I should probably just get that thing running, but an idea I was come up with is run like build a manifold and connect this air source and that air source together with some check valves. That way, like say if I'm sandblasting, which requires a whole lot of cubic feet per minute of air, I can flip that one on to supplement this one, and then ideally get that running instead of running the red tank over there as a slave to this one. I'll run this black one as a slave to the green one. There's ways to automate that with tweaking your pressure switches, so that one will kick on only, I mean, normally, like as you're using the compressor, it'll run, and then when it gets to a certain PSI, it'll kick back on. You can stage them, so like if this one kicks on at 120 PSI, what I can do is get that one with a pressure switch that'll kick on at 90 PSI. So if I'm using a whole lot of air and I just need a little bit extra, like once this one drops down to 90, that one will kick on. That way you're not using them both at the same time, and only using that one when you need it. And then kind of do the same thing with these two as I step up to that. I just got to get that one running first, but have that one kick on first and run. And then if I get down to a point where I need more air, like have this one kick on as a second stage of air. Anyway, ideas I'm throwing around. Normally this is fine, but I can't even get it to run right now, so that's the mess I'm in.